recent movie I saw was Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and a lot of people were divided on that. But I think,
haven't seen it yet, so.
in my humble opinion, I think Disney ruined Star Wars. I mean, there's no going back from that. So Bob, if you want to comment on.
Surely there's going back, but I mean, but anyway.
Well, I loved the first Star Wars. I was there on the first day it opened, May of '77. I have my May the Force be with you button that they
It was
gave
literally
out.
the first movie I ever saw in my life.
Wow.
My aunt took me to, and I stood in the long line, which was weird back then to have long lines for movies. Yeah, so me as well.
Well, I loved it, and I must have seen it 25 times in the theater, not counting videos and all that. Well, I only saw The Empire Strikes Back a couple of times, and I did like some stuff in there with Darth Vader being Luke's father and all that. But the minute I saw Yoda, ruined film, did I not? I thought, we're dealing with a Muppet, Fozzie Bear, the Jedi Master. And then when we got to Return of the Jedi, where these teddy bears defeated the stormtroopers. Get the hell out of here. And the prequels were kind of, they're calling the kid that grows up to be Darth Vader Annie. Something is drastically wrong. And then the other prequels were, it's just connective tissue and not well thought out. And then finally we got the Force Awakens, which might have been called the Farce Awakens. It was just like, everybody likes those early ones, so let's just recut them into one film. And I thought, what a waste. I mean, you've got Han Solo and these people, why don't you do something with them? And the new characters were just nothing. And so out of a sense of duty, I did watch The Last Jedi. And I did like the final scene with Luke Skywalker. That was real good. But the whole thing...
So do you think he's a Force ghost now?
Yeah, he's like Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
Qui-Gon Jinn. I like Qui-Gon Jinn, but then again you had Step and Fetch and Jar Jar Binks. It's just horrible. You've got this civilization of frogs in a pond who have plasma weapons. I just can't stomach that. They should have stopped. They should not have made any more sequels. Of course, for money's sake, naturally they would. But I doubt if I'll even see the next bunch. The new characters are nothing, in my opinion. I mean, even replaced R2-D2 with a little round one that rolls around. So what's the point of this? And none of it makes any sense. How did the First Order become the Empire again? It's just incoherent gibberish.
What do you think of Rogue One, though?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, I have to admit. That was, I wish they'd make more of those.
As an admirer of good war movies, that was a good example of a good war movie. But using this genre and this world and this setting. So
That was much better, yeah. And of course, Darth Vader was in it, which is a big plus.
My favorite of the prequels is Episode 3. So what was your thoughts on Revenge of the Sith? That's my favorite.
Well, the one thing I did like about that was the horrifying fall of Anakin Skywalker. That took some guts to take this innocent kid and make him into a child murderer. And then he becomes, Darth Vader, tear the ship apart, you found those plans and all that stuff. And then to redeem him at the end, I have to admit, that was pretty bold. That's disturbing. You can't really easily look past his crimes. But so I got to hand it to him.
Richard, what were your thoughts on Episode 3?
I don't know. I couldn't get past the fact that I felt like I was watching cartoons the whole time.
Yeah.
The over-reliance on CGI, that's one of the things I do like about the new movies, because they go back to what was being done in the original, which is physical effects. Actual physical objects. So they have these brilliant works of art in there. Like if you're walking underneath a ship, that is an actual thing that someone built and made look like an actual thing. And whereas if it's CGI, it's like that's just, I know that's fake. Like I know that's not really there. And that just pulls me out, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm not into the movie. CGI has to be used much more sparingly in a way that you literally can't tell it's being used.
Mhm.
So the new movies do rely on physical effects a lot, which I really like. But the three prequels or whatever are just like cartoons, and yet, from what I understand, the actual cartoons about the Clone Wars are much better.
Yeah, I've not seen those.
You should watch
So-
those.
Yeah, they're better written. So that I couldn't get past that, and then the plots are terrible, and like the whole love story makes no sense. I mean, I remember when there was a scene, I guess when what is it? Is it Anakin and Padme are in the arena and about to be killed or whatever. And after all that's happened, and I can't remember which one says it first, but they say like I love you, or he says I love you, or I don't remember what it was, or she says to him, that's it. She says to him, I love you, and I remember turning to my then wife and saying, and we both mouthed to each other at the same time, like.
Yeah.
It made no sense. Like, why do you love this guy? Like, there's no plausible romance at all.
Yeah.
Nothing happens that makes any sense of why they would love each other at that scene. And so that's just bad writing. And so I can't get past that kind of stuff.
Okay.